In the beginning of time, the celestial realm was a place of absolute peace and harmony, where angels served God in perfect obedience and joy. This realm was governed by an immutable, divine order that maintained the stability and prosperity of the universe. Among these angels was Araqiel, figure revered for his wisdom and knowledge of the secrets of the earth. Along with other angels, Araqiel fulfilled his divine tasks, living in splendor and light. His role was clear: to observe, protect, and ensure that God's creation followed the course determined by the Creator. Heaven was a place of well-defined hierarchy. The archangels, like Michael and Gabriel, held leadership positions and were responsible for missions involving defense and protection. Meanwhile, the Watchers, like Araqiel, were tasked with observing and protecting the created world, ensuring that harmony between heaven and earth was maintained. However, Araqiel's curiosity regarding the mysteries of earth grew stronger each day. Araqiel's fascination with the secrets of the earth. Araqiel was fascinated by the beauty and complexity of earth. He looked down in awe at the vast landscapes, towering mountains, the deep oceans, and the countless secrets hidden beneath the surface. He felt an irresistible attraction to Earth's mysteries, and over time, this curiosity began to transform into a burning desire to explore and understand more deeply what the terrestrial world had to offer. Araqiel's desire was not only to observe, but also to share the vast knowledge he possessed. He began to wonder why certain knowledge was reserved only for the celestial realm and could not be shared with humans. After all, he believed that humanity had the potential to achieve great things if they only had access to celestial knowledge. First seed of rebellion. As Araqiel's desire grew, he began to question God's decrees. Why should celestial knowledge be kept secret from humans? He believed that humans could greatly benefit from the knowledge that angels possessed, and at the same time, he thought he could be a guide for humanity, helping them evolve in their understanding of the world and of themselves. Simjaza, a charismatic leader among the Watchers, also began to question divine orders. He was an influential angel, respected for his leadership and wisdom. When Simjaza began to gather other angels, including Araqiel, Azazel, Ezekiel, and Barakajal, to discuss their concerns, the first seed of rebellion was planted. The Council of the Watchers, moved by these ideas, Simjaza, Araqiel, and the other angels began planning a way to descend to Earth. They were convinced that humanity had the right to know the secrets of the universe and to use them to improve their lives. This desire to share knowledge and experiment with new forms of interaction with humans led these angels to fall into temptation. They descended to Earth, taking on physical forms to interact directly with humans. Upon touching the ground, their presence altered the natural balance of the world. Araqiel in particular taught men the secrets of the earth, such as how to extract minerals, use precious metals, and understand the signs of the soil. He believed he was doing good by offering humanity the means to improve their lives and prosper. Spread of knowledge and its consequence. In the beginning, humans saw Araqiel and the other angels as benevolent figures. They were regarded as wise teachers who had come to help and guide humanity. With the knowledge shared by the fallen angels, humanity began to advance in areas such as agriculture, mining, and metallurgy. Cities grew, and societies began to organize themselves more complexly. The ability to work with precious metals and build tools and ornaments ushered in a new era of prosperity. Araqiel taught humans to identify different types of minerals and precious stones. He explained how to recognize gold, silver, iron, copper, and other metals, as well as precious stones like diamonds and rubies. With this knowledge, humans learned to explore the earth in search of these valuable resources, which initially seemed like a blessing. Araqiel revealed methods for locating mineral veins and techniques for efficiently extracting them. He taught the first mining techniques, including how to dig tunnels and wells, use appropriate tools, and ensure the stability of the mines. Additionally, he shared knowledge about the art of smelting, showing how to melt metals and purify them to create tools, weapons, and ornaments. This knowledge seemed to promise great progress for humanity. However, these powerful teachings also had a dark side. Men began to manufacture weapons and fight one another. Violence spread, and Earth's resources began to be used destructively. The natural balance was disturbed, and corruption took hold of human societies. What Araqiel and the other fallen angels did not foresee was that their teachings would result in violence, greed, and destruction. Azazel and the deeper fall. Among the fallen angels, Azazel was one of the most notorious. He is known for teaching humans knowledge that led to corruption and destruction. Specifically, Azazel taught men how to extract and work with metals, introducing them to the art of metallurgy. This included the manufacture of weapons and armor, which resulted in wars and violence among humans. The knowledge of metals and the ability to turn them into deadly weapons caused conflicts between societies to become more frequent and deadly. Azazel also taught women the use of cosmetics and adornments, such as the creation of bracelets, necklaces, and other beauty items. This led to an increase in vanity and the desire for power and wealth, contributing to moral and social corruption. The creation and use of jewelry and precious stones instigated greed and ambition, diverting humans from the spiritual and moral path. What began as an act of generosity and enlightenment on the part of the fallen angels soon turned into a curse that corrupted the human soul. The decline of civilizations and God's wrath. As the teachings of Araqiel, Azazel, and the other fallen angels spread, Earth began to plunge into a cycle of war, decadence, and destruction. The unchecked exploitation of natural resources brought great material benefit, but also despair, poverty, and inequality. Armed with celestial knowledge, humans used their new abilities to oppress one another and seek domination. God, observing the growing chaos on Earth, decided to intervene. He sent the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel to capture the fallen angels and restore order. Araqiel and the others were captured and imprisoned in dark abysses, where they remained confined, awaiting the final judgment. Lessons from the story of Araqiel and the fallen angels. The story of Araqiel teaches us about the dangers of unchecked curiosity and defiance of divine authority. It shows how the desire to share knowledge without considering the consequences can lead to ruin. Araqiel's rebellion, along with that of the other fallen angels, serves as a warning about the limits of power and knowledge and the importance of obedience and humility before divine orders. Araqiel's current fate, according to the tradition of the Book of Enoch, is to remain imprisoned, awaiting the final judgment when all the fallen angels will be punished for their acts of rebellion. His story and that of the other fallen angels is a lasting reminder of the dangers of challenging divine order and acting out of pride and disobedience. The responsible use of knowledge. The story of Araqiel and the forbidden teachings he passed on to humanity offer valuable lessons that resonate through the ages. First, we learn about the responsibility in the use of knowledge. Although technological advancement and economic development can bring great benefits, they also carry the potential to cause destruction and suffering if not accompanied by ethics and responsibility. The manufacture of weapons and the unchecked exploitation of natural resources demonstrate how knowledge can be used for selfish and destructive purposes, resulting in wars and social inequality. Knowledge itself is neither good nor bad, but its use defines its consequence. What the fallen angels, like Araqiel and Azazel, initially thought was a gift for humanity, became a tool of oppression and violence. Their intentions, although driven by genuine curiosity and a desire to enlighten humanity, were distorted by human desires for power and dominance. Power of knowledge, when devoid of ethical and moral principles, can corrupt even the purest society. This is reflected in ancient civilizations, which began to use knowledge to expand their dominion over other tribes and kingdoms. What should have been an era of progress and advancement turned into a cycle of destruction and decay. Morality was relegated to the background, while the desire for power and wealth consumed the human soul. Greed fueled by knowledge of the earth's secrets distanced humans from their spiritual values, plunging them into an age of darkness. The balance between progress and morality. In addition to teaching about the dangers of irresponsible use of knowledge, Araqiel's story also makes us reflect on the importance of balancing progress and morality. The insatiable desire for power and wealth, without considering the consequences for society and the environment, leads to corruption and collapse. Pursuit of wisdom must always be guided by ethical principles that ensure justice and equity. Progress without a solid moral foundation is an invitation to disaster. The knowledge provided by the fallen angels, such as mineral exploration and metallurgy, could have been a force for good if used ethically and responsibly. However, greed quickly took over, and the focus shifted from common progress to a frantic pursuit of individual power. Araqiel's story and that of his companions remind us that without morality, even the purest knowledge can become a weapon of destruction. Humility before nature. Another crucial point that arises from Araqiel's story is the need for humility before nature. The manipulation of natural resources must be done with respect and care to avoid environmental destruction and ecological imbalance. Greed and irresponsible exploitation can lead to catastrophic consequences for the planet and future generations. Araqiel's teachings about the exploration of natural resources reveal the beauty and power of the earth, but also highlight the fragility of ecological balance. When Araqiel taught humans to explore the earth, he also taught methods for improving the soil, such as crop rotation and the use of natural fertilizers. While these practices initially led to an increase in agricultural productivity, excessive and thoughtless exploitation of the environment began to degrade Earth's natural resources. The destruction of forests, the depletion of soils, and the pollution of waters were some of the consequences of an imprudent and greedy approach. This lesson is more relevant than ever in our modern age, where humanity faces an unprecedented environmental crisis. The exploitation of natural resources without considering ecological repercussions is resulting in environmental disasters that threaten life on the planet. Araqiel's story and his attempt to enlighten humanity with knowledge of the earth serve as a warning about the dangers of underestimating the need to preserve the natural balance. The rebellion against divine order. The most central element of Araqiel's story, and that of the other fallen angels, is the rebellion against divine order. This rebellion is a reflection of pride and disobedience, and serves as a warning about the limits of power and knowledge. When Araqiel and his companions decided to share celestial secrets with humanity, they acted out of a desire for autonomy and independence from God's will. This rebellion was not only a challenge to divine laws, but also an example of how pride can corrupt even the highest being. Araqiel, who was initially driven by a sincere desire to help humanity, allowed his pride and desire for recognition to cloud his judgment. The result was the fall not only of Araqiel, but of an entire legion of angels who, like him, believed they could act without the restrictions imposed by divine order. Araqiel's story is a lesson about the necessity of obedience to divine laws and natural order. Rebellion against divine authority is always dangerous because it disregards God's infinite wisdom and the complex interconnections between all forms of life. Araqiel's disobedience resulted in chaos and destruction, not only for the fallen angels, but also for humanity. His story serves as a reminder that arrogance and pride can lead to the downfall of the most powerful. The role of the archangels in restoring order. God, seeing the growing chaos caused by the disobedience of the fallen angels, took decisive action to restore order. He sent the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, capture the fallen angels, and ensure that creation returned to balance. These archangels, known for their loyalty and power, were tasked with a mission of utmost importance: to restore divine order and punish the transgressors. Michael, the warrior archangel, led the capture of the fallen angels with relentless strength and justice. His presence brought hope to humans and fear to the rebellious angels. Gabriel, God's messenger, was responsible for communicating divine judgment on the fallen angels, ensuring that all knew the consequences of their actions. Raphael, the archangel of healing, worked to repair the damage caused by the fallen angels, restoring harmony where there had been chaos. Uriel, the angel of wisdom, helped guide humanity back to the correct path, offering guidance and teachings on how to restore the lost balance. The fallen angels, including Araqiel, were imprisoned in dark abysses where they remained confined, awaiting final judgment. These abysses symbolize the punishment and isolation of those who defied divine order. A place of darkness and reflection, where the fallen angels ponder their mistakes. The wait for final judgment. According to the Book of Enoch, Araqiel and the other fallen angels remain imprisoned until the day of final judgment, when all will be called to account for their transgression. This judgment will be the moment when divine justice is fully realized, and the fallen angels will face the consequences of their actions. The wait for final judgment is a period of reflection and penitence for the fallen angels. It is an opportunity for them to recognize the impact of their choices and understand the consequences of their action. Araqiel, in particular, who initially believed he was helping humanity, must now face the fact that his good intentions turned into destruction and corruption. The weight of his choices is something he carries as he awaits the final verdict. Conclusion: the importance of humility and responsibility. Araqiel's story and that of the fallen angels offer valuable lessons that apply to both the past and the present. It reminds us of the importance of humility, obedience, and responsibility in the use of knowledge. The rebellion of the fallen angels serves as a warning to all those who seek to exceed the limits of power and wisdom without considering the moral and spiritual consequence. The role of the archangels in restoring order. God, seeing the growing chaos caused by the disobedience of the fallen angels, took decisive action to restore order. He sent the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel capture the fallen angels and ensure that creation returned to balance. These archangels, known for their loyalty and power, were tasked with a mission of utmost importance: to restore divine order and punish the transgressors. Michael, the warrior archangel, led the capture of the fallen angels with relentless strength and justice. His presence brought hope to humans and fear to the rebellious angels. Gabriel, God's messenger, was responsible for communicating divine judgment on the fallen angels, ensuring that all knew the consequences of their actions. Raphael, the archangel of healing, worked to repair the damage caused by the fallen angels, restoring harmony where there had been chaos. Uriel, the angel of wisdom, helped guide humanity back to the correct path, offering guidance and teachings on how to restore the lost balance. The fallen angels, including Araqiel, were imprisoned in dark abysses where they remained confined, awaiting final judgment. These abysses symbolize the punishment and isolation of those who defied divine order. A place of darkness and reflection, where the fallen angels ponder their mistakes. The wait for final judgment. According to the Book of Enoch, Araqiel and the other fallen angels remain imprisoned until the day of final judgment, when all will be called to account for their transgression. This judgment will be the moment when divine justice is fully realized, and the fallen angels will face the consequences of their actions. The wait for final judgment is a period of reflection and penitence for the fallen angels. It is an opportunity for them to recognize the impact of their choices and understand the consequences of their action. Araqiel, in particular, who initially believed he was helping humanity, must now face the fact that his good intentions turned into destruction and corruption. The weight of his choices is something he carries as he awaits the final verdict. Conclusion: the importance of humility and responsibility. Araqiel's story and that of the fallen angels offer valuable lessons that apply to both the past and the present. It reminds us of the importance of humility, obedience, and responsibility in the use of knowledge. The rebellion of the fallen angels serves as a warning to all those who seek to exceed the limits of power and wisdom without considering the moral and spiritual consequence.